73%. That's the percentage of women runners who get injured over the next 2 years period. For men, that number is about 62%. Women get injured more, a lot more, and we don't talk about it often. It's 3 specific reasons rooted in your anatomy and 1 training mistake that almost every runner over 40 is quietly making. I am Dr. Sandesh Pandit. I'm a board-certified sports medicine physician and 7-time marathon runner. Reason number 1, the anatomy. The frame you run on is totally different from the guy running next to you in ways that can matter for injury. The Q angle or the quadriceps angle. Bigger Q angle means every time your foot hits the ground, the force travels up and inward, loading the inside of your knee and pulling the kneecap sideways. Women runners get something called what we call patellofemoral pain syndrome or runner's knee at higher rates than men. Add to that naturally looser ligaments, less muscle mass per pound of the body weight, and a tendency for the hip to drop mid-leg stride, especially if your glute is weak. And you have a body that, without specific training, send force into the joints instead of absorbing it in the muscles. Women need to train a little different than men because, while men can sometimes get away with just logging miles, women usually can't. Their anatomy is asking them to be strong in specific places. We'll get to exactly where in a few minutes. Reason number 2 is the hormones, mainly the estrogen. Estrogen is not just a reproductive hormone. Estrogen is a structural hormone. It keeps your tendons supple, it keeps your bones dense, it keeps your blood vessel elastic, it helps regulate inflammation. It is quite literally part of scaffolding that holds a running body together. Perimenopause, menopause, estrogen drops. Female endurance athletes between 40 and 60, 63% report joint and muscular discomfort. Falling estrogen is associated with stiffer blood vessels, more inflammation, and altered body composition, more fat, less muscle for the same diet and same training you were doing 2 years ago. Women with irregular or absent periods have a higher risk of stress fractures. Women with oral contraceptives which stabilize the estrogen appear to have lower risk. And if you are perimenopausal and you're running at the same mileage like you're doing back in 32, you're running on a different body. Reason number 3 is you're probably adding mileage too fast. For every additional mile per week you add, your injury risk goes up about 2%. That sounds tiny, right? Stack it across 10 weeks of marathon training and it's not tiny anymore. Then add this: for every year, injury risk climb another 7% because your tissues need little more time to adapt than they used to. Strongest predictor of your next injury is your last one. I see this every week in clinic, is that they train like they're 28. 20% mileage jumps, speed work on tired legs, adding a race day without adding recovery. The training template that most runners used was designed for your younger self. You need a template built for yours. What actually works? What prevents injury? Hip and core strengthening. A simple hip and core program reduced lower extremity injuries by 34% and overuse injuries by as much as 52%. This is the single most evidence-backed thing a runner over 40 can add to their week. 2 to 3 sessions, 20 minutes, and that's it. Quick gift: I put together a free recipe card for what I call the AAA smoothie. It's what I drink after long runs to help my 40-plus body recover like it's 30 or something. Link is in the description. Number 2 is foot core training, an 8-week program, 3 times a week, training small muscles of the foot, the arch, the intrinsics, the muscle that actually spring when you run. Reduced injury odds by 60%. 60. These are exercises that barely look like exercise, like toe spreads, arch doming, short foot holds. They might look silly, but they work. Number 3 is soft landing. Gait retraining, teaching yourself to land more quietly with less impact, reduced your knee injury by 2/3. If someone watching from the side can hear your feet hit the ground, your body probably is hearing too. Step quieter, Your knees will thank you for years. Number 4 is gradual progression, not 20% jump, not marathon plans ripped off the internet. Small, steady, boring progress. Slow and steady doesn't just win the race, slow and steady keeps you in the race. Now let's talk about the myth. You've been told whole running life that if you stretch enough, you won't get hurt. Stretching alone does not meaningfully reduce your injury risk. Keep it if you enjoy it. But if stretching is your only injury prevention plan, that's not enough plan. Shara is 47, 2 grown kids, ran her first half marathons when she was 39 and fell in love with this sport. She came to my clinic with what she thought was a stubborn case of the IT band pain. She had stretched religiously, foam rolled until she had bruises. When we really dug in, her periods were becoming irregular 18 months earlier. She had gained about 12 pounds without changing her diet. Her sleep habit was irregular, and she had quietly bumped her weekly mileage from 20 to 35 over a 6 weeks period because she had signed up for the full marathon in fall. Sarah didn't have IT band problems. Sarah had 4 things stacking on top of each other: perimenopause, too fast mileage jump, previous hip injury that had subtly changed her stride, and a training plan built for her 35-year-old self. We didn't fix Sarah with a stretch, we fixed Sarah by rebuilding her. Strength work for hip and core, gradual mileage ramp, a conversation with her GYN doctor about her symptoms, and some Gait retraining so she can land it softer. She ran her marathon. You're not too old to run. You are exactly old enough to run smarter than you ever have. The body you're running on is not the body you had at 28, and that's not a bad news. That is the single most important piece of information you have, because once you know it, you can train for it. And the women I see who keep running in their 60s, 70s, they have all one thing in common. They stopped running like they used to, and they started running like they could. The decline, most people blame on age. Most of that is optional. This is your channel for Running Over 40, and I'll see you on the next one. Keep running for life.